Hello and welcome back. I promise you guys I'll try to be consistent and steady on this channel. Moving on. Welcome. So I got lots of feedback from my last video on my driving. I was literally sharing my testimony anyways, but I guess we need practical tips on what to do and what I did, especially that helped me to pass. And I think I would be a little bit well detailed, so in case this video is long, just bear with me. Welcome once again. Thank you so much, and please can you first subscribe? Subscribe. I need you to subscribe into the channel. Anyways, thank you very much, and I believe you are subscribing already. That's really important. It's really important. Okay, without wasting more time, I would go into details of the tips and things that I did that helped me to pass my test. And also, maybe I'll also highlight some of the things that also caused my failure, especially in the practical, because I think that's where majority of us are struggling. Yes, some are struggling with the theories as well, but I think it is, in my own opinion, is a lot easier to pass your theory than your practical, and it is a lot easier to rebook your theory than your practical, right? So that's what that's my major reason anyway, that I'm thinking I think I should just focus on the practical test. So here we are. One of the things that I think helped me in passing, really, which was a trick I learned at the last minute kind of, is that I saw the driving test as me going to have fun. It relaxed my muscle, it cleared my fears, it removed my anxiety. And I got this knowledge from my instructor, who told me that I should see it like I'm going for one of my driving lessons of the times when I'm already a good driver, because at that point I no longer wait for my instructor before making decisions. I do the right thing and I do everything correctly, like there's barely any minor. And like I said in the previous video, I mentioned having just 2 minors. Now those minors, I would confess, was me forgetting one of the things my instructor told me, which was whenever they tell you to stop at anywhere that is safe, it is not a must to stop immediately. You can stop 5 minutes after, or at least 2 to 3 minutes after, anyway, as far as you are looking for the safest place. So that was the reason why I had that one of the minor, because I just parked immediately. The second minor was mirrors. There was a time I forgot to check my mirrors before driving off. So that was my 2 minors. Now, the first thing is to relax your mind. I know it may sound easier said than done, but I did it and it helped me. So what I did was to zero my mind to the fact that I am not going to do tests. I'm going to have fun, to go and do my normal lesson and enjoy my life. And again, I enjoy driving. So because I know I enjoy driving, I intentionally condition my mind into seeing it as one of my driving days, right? Yes, I've never driven without the person beside me, because I've never driven before then, and that was my first time. So yeah, that's one of the tricks that helped me. Another thing that helped me was managing expectation. How do you would wonder how I did this. Now, managing expectation, I think I touched on this briefly on the previous video, is you not telling anybody about your test. Is it going to be difficult? Well, yes, in some situation, like especially if you're husband and wife. I don't know how you want to do without telling your husband or your wife. But then you can choose to not tell your parents, your siblings, your family. I say your family, your children. In my case, I didn't tell my children. I normally would have told them, but I did not. So, and the reason is just to reduce the pressure of trying to pass, literally, and it helped me. Another thing I did was, when it comes to the roundabouts, my instructor actually taught me this. I should always watch out for sign, which I believe every driver should. Like, always watch out for sign. So once I see the signboard of a roundabout near, I look at the layout. So I studied the roundabout. For example, in a 5 exit roundabouts anyway, which obviously mean I'll be coming from 1. So I've already deducted that 1 from the setting. So in a nutshell, if I'm going to be driving through the roundabout and the exit is going to be by my, let's say, straight ahead, definitely. And okay, now before I say straight ahead, if it's 5, there's a possibility that there's 2 exits before you're straight ahead, because that's the tricky part of the roundabout. Now, what I do is I count the exits first. If it is up to 5, most times roundabout with three or more exits usually have at least 3 or more lanes, right? So if I'm on a 5-way roundabout or 5 exit roundabout, what I do is I immediately study the leaderboard. When I study the leaderboard and I see it's 5 exits and I'm going to the way ahead, I know that my lane should be the second lane on the roundabout. And as soon as I'm getting to the first island of the exit, before the exit I'm going out to, I'm driving towards our island and obviously looking my mirror, then signaling and then moving there, and then I exit. Now, in a case where you are going probably to the left, you know how to do your signal. You signal right. Like my instructor taught me, on the leaderboard, if where your exit is after, on your right, that is to say after 12 o'clock. I don't know how your own instructor teach you, but mine used the clock. So any exit after the 12 o'clock means you have to do your signaling to the right. And then you have to go into the inner lane, depending on how many lanes on the roundabout. If it's 3, you should know you should go to the 3rd lane. If it is 2, of course, the 2nd lane. Then if it is a 2-lane roundabout, and you're going straight ahead, you don't need to go to the 2nd lane. Just go use the outer lane, but first target the island before your exit. And then I just hope this explanation is helping you. You may have to watch this slowly or watch it over and over and over again, because I noticed a lot of people struggle just like me with the roundabout, but these were the things that helped me. So I look at the leaderboard, and most times either the sat nav or the instructor or examiner would mention what exit. The minute they say you are going to the 3rd exit, 4th exit, 2nd exit, just first of all deduct your own place, the road you are entering, remove it from the calculation of the distance, and start your 1, 2, 3 from the exit after where you are coming through, right? And if you're going on the next exit, you should go to the left straight away, turning. And if it is way ahead, straight ahead, just like I explained, target the island of the exit before the exit you are going to. Now, as soon as I get into the roundabout, I will say this: start counting. See, don't follow those. There's one I don't carry about me. What I use is I start counting 1, 2, 3. I don't count it out. I say it in my mind. Some people count it out. I have a friend who does. So it depends. Do what works for you. And on that test day, if you want to count it out, count it out. There's no rule against it. I didn't count it, but I don't need it. So start counting from that the minute you're out into the roundabout, and then target. The trick is to target the island before your exit. The island before your exit, or do I say the demarcation, or just I like something that is separating the entrance and the exit of a particular road, right? So that's the trick for the roundabout. Another trick I think helped me for the roundabout is to, just the one I mentioned, figure out the roundabout using the clock sign. So any exit after 12 will be me signaling right and me going into the inner lane. And as soon as I'm approaching the exit before my exit, I start signaling to the 2nd or the last lane, depending on the wideness. So if you're on a lane where it is 2 lanes for the roundabout, you know that by the time you are getting to the exit before you, so you are going to the outer lane. So if, for example, you are going to the 4th exit and the roundabout has 3 lanes, you should go into the 3rd lane, inside lane. By the time you leave the first exit, you should be signaling to go into the 2nd lane. By the time you are approaching the 3rd exit, you should be signaling to go into the last lane so that you can exit on the next exit. So these were the tricks I used. But the interesting thing about this is you may not even need all of these for your test, depending on your route. I did my test in a place that's, like I said in my previous video, where it's termed as one of the worst places to do your test, but I drove there and I passed with just 2 minors. Yes, I failed the first one. I explained that already in my previous video. It was literally anxiety. In fact, the thing that made me fail did not even happen on the test. On the road. It happened at the center, my maneuver. So it was not even my driving per se. Okay, yes, there was another incident where anxiety took over me and I didn't do my calculations well. I saw a car coming and I drove into the roundabout. There was no accident. It was not even a serious, like it's serious for the test, but on a normal day, it's not really a big deal. But because for the test, like if you are driving like that for the test, then how will you be driving when you do? Do you understand? So those were my minors. So every other thing, I actually didn't have any issues at all. I'm not sure of I can't remember how many minors I had for that field, but those were the issues, right? And that was a center that everybody run away from. IRIT. If you know IRIT, I remember somebody even telling me, why did you choose that place? It's not a good place to go, blah, 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 blah. But I spoke to myself, and this is another trick. I told myself, even despite the so-called high rate of failure, people are still passing. So I said, if those people can pass, then I can pass. So I managed my energy. How did I manage my energy? I stopped telling people I'm practicing to drive. I stopped sharing that I'm doing any lesson, except for those, close to me. Those are the important people. I don't need to tell the world. I don't need to post about it. Of course, I talked once in a while, but I'm not giving too much attention to that side of me because I don't want the pressure to try to impress. You may say, no, it's not possible. See, you are human. You want to try to pass because you have told people. It's a normal phenomenon, and it's normal for human beings to want to meet up with expectations. So to reduce that, it's better off to not share about that plan to manage your anxiety. Not because you want to fail. The reason we fail is not because you cannot pass. It's literally because your fear and anxiety got a better part of you, and that's it. And from my own experience, I would say even these examiners wanted to pass. The person that failed me before was the one that finally passed me. So they themselves wanted to pass. Another thing I will say you should also avoid is any practice you have not anything you have not done during your practice time, don't do it for your test. If you've not been taking coffee before then, don't start taking it then. If you've not been eating banana before then, don't start it then. In fact, that your test day is not the best day to be eating something new or adding something new to your system because you don't know how your body can react. So that helped me. So I think I've touched on a major thing. And also, before I forget, yes, the mirror. I know it's a simple thing and it's usually termed minor, but you know that your minor, the minute your minor reaches 15 or 16, then is a fail. So you don't want to go have too much minor, right? So if I were you, I will exaggerate my mirror checking. Yes, I did it. Most of the time. Talk about what I is too much because it would also not help it. Like my head slightly followed my eyes just to make the person know. Some people choose to talk about it, checking my left mirror, my right mirror. I do that one. My eyes did the work. And another thing you can do that helped me was engaging the examiner. The first time I did it, the second time I did, and it's now engaging the examiner will not make you pass. Let me let you know, but it will calm your nerves. I noticed the minute I started engaging my examiner. Of course, I didn't talk for too much. Let me not lie. I only talked for, but the fact that we engaged also calmed my nerves seriously. Like I felt this ease, and I just continued driving, and it felt like fun. Suddenly, it didn't feel like test anymore. It felt like fun to me. So you may want to use that trick as well. And on your test day, please pray, because when I prayed, I had to pray, and I remember saying, God, this day I need the Trinity to help me. I remember saying that the Trinity are to sit at the back. It may sound weird to some, but well, it's not weird to me. And I said the Holy Spirit is it the Holy Spirit or God the Son? Either of them, one of them will be anchoring the mind of the examiner to not create more tension for me, to make me feel more relaxed, and also to not be nitpicking, because there are some examiners like that, things they should just overlook, they will be picking it. So I was like, it should not be nitpicking on errors that are inconsequential. And then the remaining two should be on my case, one calming my nerves and one helping me to navigate the driving. And yes, those are the major things for me. And I noticed from my previous fail and the pass, the difference between my fail and my pass was my anxiety. And the way I managed it is what I've already explained. Manage your anxiety by reducing expectations, not talking about it, whether you like it or not. It's not even about spiritual. Well, you guys know me now. You know my stand when it comes to those things. But what I'm saying in essence is that your emotions can get a greater part of you, thereby affecting your output on your test date. And when you have created that avenue where people are expecting you to pass, the pressure to pass will be there, which will lead to fail. But the minute you're going to just relax, just more like go and prove to this examiner that you can do it. That was one of the things I had in mind. I can do it. I'm going to catch fun. It's a cruise leveled. Yes, that was it. I passed with just 2 minor. I hope you found this helpful. If you do, drop your comments. Please share with your friends and like, okay? And please, most importantly, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. God bless. All right, till I come your way again, stay blessed and be happy.